Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The Super Mario Bros. Movie, made by the company that keeps making nothing but poor Dr. Seuss adaptations and pointless sequels. Except for this one. When they first announced this movie, I was really worried, even if Shigeru Miyamoto was heavily involved in the production. I mean, Illumination. Thank you. They are definitely the least liked of the big animated movie companies when compared to the likes of Soul, The Bad Guys, Into the Spider-Verse, Encanto, and K-pop Demon Hunters. Sure, their films look really nice, detailed, and smooth in their latest films, but a big budget Mario movie produced by the same company that gave us fart guns, constant unfitting licensed songs, and the Grinch feeling sympathy for someone before he even stole Christmas. How in God's name will this film be good in any way to anyone, let alone Nintendo fans? Well, I'll tell you how. They released the first trailer. Holy God! I have never had my expectations for a product turn a complete 180 so quickly than with this trailer footage. The animation, the best Illumination has done so far. The humor, it wasn't cringy in the slightest, not a single fart in sight. Bowser was actually powerful and threatening. His and Kamek's voices sounded miles better than what I was expecting. The atmosphere and the scope of the Mushroom Kingdom was amazing. Needless to say, I went from worried about this movie to being hyped for the movie in an instant. And now, a few years too late, I'm here to tell you all what I think of one of the better video game adaptation films in the past decade, even though it still has some problems that I'll address when we get to them. Oh, and before you ask, no, I didn't originally watch this movie from Kim Cartoon for free, like the peasant I am. I actually went to the cinema, gave them my money, and watched it all on the big screen, like a good boy. Here's proof I'm seeing it for real. The actual theatre. Snacks. Which means the full experience. God, what an experience that was. Seriously, the last time I ever saw a film at the cinema was Johnny English 3. Seeing movies the way they want you to is a luxury for me and my family these days. Everything is just too expensive. So, the story starts in a similar way to the lore established in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. Yeah, remember that?
Overall piece of spaghetti on your overalls. You, Luigi!
As in, Mario and Luigi are two loyal brothers with an unpopular plumbing business in Brooklyn. As an attempt to go big in the world, Mario decides to fix a huge sewer blockage downtown, but they accidentally found a secret warp zone while working on a drain. They end up flying into a magical dimension, but the momentum separates the brothers, Luigi getting sent to the Darklands, bumping into his worst nightmares, while Mario lands miles apart into a beautiful, expansive kingdom of mushrooms. And from here, the story has a simple, set goal. Mario must do all that he can to find his brother and return back home, because he knows he can't survive in a strange, dangerous world like this on his own. Hey, wait a minute. Mario is rescuing Luigi? Isn't Mario usually rescuing the useless prissy princess in the computer games? This seems very backwards. Well, I don't mind the switching of characters because A, the story is still, in its overall core, the same story as the NES game. or most games in general, Mario has decided to travel far and do everything in his power to rescue someone he holds dear. And rescuing his insecure brother, his family he has stood up for and lived his entire life, is a better driving force for Mario than some random princess from a different dimension he had absolutely no connection with. And B, the switch up makes a bit more sense to me personality-wise. The brother, who has been showcased many times in and outside of this movie to be a shy, unsure pushover and is easily scared of the unknown or the dangerous. The angry dog, the suddenly swooping swoopers, the ravenous dry boneses trapped in a small cage in midair over a floor of lava with loads of guards watching under the watchful eye of some intimidating angry turtle monster? Yeah, I can see why he'd be too scared to even attempt escaping. And I think this switch up also makes sense for the movie's take on Peach, but I'll talk about her later. The rest of the story is handled pretty nicely. Everything has a purpose, the characters' motivations make sense in a lot of cases, and it has a good even balance of intimidating suspense or fear with comedic moments with the same character, exciting powered up action with scenes to let the characters breathe and reflect on themselves. I especially like how Mario and Peach's relationship becomes more gradual during the course of the movie. At first, she's fighting back for being an intruder, but then 180s when she saw that she's not the only human anymore, patiently teaching Mario to be ready for anything the Koopas will launch at them, and boosting his confidence up when he fails. After traveling for presumably a couple of days, Peach allows Mario to hear about her place in this world and how she came to be, and she becomes so impressed that he beats the strongest Kong in the kingdom that she wishes to know more about Mario's world. And after thinking that he was killed from falling thousands of feet into an endless sea, she is relieved that he made it out alive and pleased that he managed to fight through an entire army in a silly tanuki suit. So it's not just plumber who finds some princess in an evil castle, burns the turtle alive, and then suddenly they're in a lifelong relationship after one single rescue. It gradually builds up throughout the course of the film, from being open but skeptical to him when it starts, to being proud of how much Mario has grown, in both cases, by the end. The story, or the film in general, has a few nitpicks though. For instance, Mario and Donkey Kong's rivalry. I like that it's there as a callback to them being arch enemies in the Jumpman games, and it makes sense from DK's perspective. Mario forced himself to fight him, easily beat the living shit out of this ignorant weakling, but then suddenly beat him to a pulp where no one else has done before. Your legacy of being the strongest one in the kingdom tarnished by being beat by some rando in a silly kitty costume? I can understand the anger towards the guy. His jealousy is still displayed throughout the Mario Kart scenes, but then Mario saves him from drowning in spite of their rivalry because it was the right thing to do. Okay, this should be where DK begins to change his mind about Mario. He is strong, quick, and smart in battle, survived Mad Max Rainbow Road, and saved his own life when he was knocked out. That seems to be what the scene is implying, but then inside the eel...
So this is the end. Being slowly digested by an eel next to a idiot in overalls.
And what my dad thinks I'm a joke too.
Yeah, well... Your dad's right!
Go over the corner and smash some stuff, Smash Monkey!
I am more than a guy who smashes things!
They are both pissed at each other again. And then 10 seconds later, they find a way out and then smile at each other as if they never snapped. And then in the climax, they are battling together to find their families. Personally, I feel like they should have swapped the eel scene and the drowning scene around. Like, while they are falling and arguing, Unagi jumps out of the water, like the terrifying monster he has always been, and chomps them in midair. Then, while he's swimming near the surface, the two reach their breaking point, DK's punching around upsets Unagi's stomach and belches them out, in the air and then back into the water. Ataya knocks DK out, Mario pulls him up, DK reconsiders, realizes that he's floating on a rocket barrel, and they ignite it somehow towards the fight of their lives. Some people might not agree with this, but that would make their attitudes to each other in the final battle feel more natural, you know?
Cool raccoon suit! Really? Not at all!
I'm not sure if I should consider this next one as a nitpick or another personal problem with the film, but some of these scenes breeze by a bit too fast. I don't mean the action scenes or any of the Bowser scenes. I specifically mean most of the Mario scenes. On the one hand, I kinda like how the movie is getting to the point. We can see the issue or point of interest, and the characters aren't entirely saying everything out loud for the child audience. We need to reach that pressure valve. Why? Because that'll turn off the water supply. And then we'll save Brooklyn? Exactly, bro. Oh boy, I'm afraid of heights. Just hold on and don't look down. You know, that kind of thing. They're allowing the audience to see in this visual medium what the characters are doing or feeling. But then there are other moments that should have had 10 more shots to them. Like, maybe Peach needed more convincing to bring Mario with her than just a point and a please.
Please?
Okay.
Well, I mean, she is royalty. Please and thank you must be her magic words. Or maybe the scene of recruiting Toad could have been longer. Mario just boldly agrees to fight DK, and it immediately cuts to him stepping out onto the arena. Couldn't you have allowed him 40 more seconds to reflect on what he's jumping into? Or think about Luigi? Maybe the baby bully scene from Mario's perspective to further tie the bros together before he faces off against someone much bigger? No. What we saw in the trailer is all we get. Speaking of the trailers, there were some scenes that had additional shots or dialogue that were ultimately cut in the final movie. Like, Mario said an extra line in the Fireflower Field scene.
I'm not afraid. I'll do anything for my brother.
Or when Peach and Toad pull the Cheep off Mario's face. Why was that bit cut? It's not even 5 seconds long, and it's amusing anyway. Wait. What about if they added some additional shots of the areas they traverse through? Like dodging Bob-ombs in Bob-omb Battlefield, maybe with King Bob-omb waving on the background island, fighting Pokies and Chinchos in Toast Arena, maybe petting a Yoshi on their island and offering a fruit in return? I mean, this pier, which isn't even based on anything, gets 2 shots, originally 3, and there were 5 shots set in this rocky part of nowhere that's mostly covered in fog. I know it could be rock candy mines or something, but the sets that are based on actual famous Mario stages only get 1 shot each? Great. Also, it's not that much of a me problem. But some people take issue with the movie not really explaining some of the stranger elements of the mushroom world. Where do the item boxes come from? How can people obtain them or put anything in them? Why is there a random row of bricks floating in the sky? Who does this ruined castle belong to? Why does a jungly kingdom of apes have a heavy emphasis on cars and bikes? Is the Rainbow Road an ancient legend or an everyday occurrence? What's the deal? Well, speaking as a Mario fan, I don't have a problem with this. These are all common elements from the games brought to a more detailed, more story-centric medium. That clear pipe travel alone is enough to satisfy any lifelong fan. But to the average Joe, or a newcomer to the series, well, they still exist after 40 years? The lack of explanations for anything may confuse them. But honestly, this movie is no different to, say, Alice in Wonderland, The Wizard of Oz, or Avatar 1. It has a character from the normal world going into a strange, wacky, or beautiful world out of our realm of understanding. Mario is the newcomer's POV character into this strange world of mushrooms. I mean, if the masses can accept a little girl going into a fantasy world with a smoking blue caterpillar, dodos, talking rabbits, endless tea parties, and playing croquet with flamingos, why not show them a world with zombie skeletons, king ghosts, fiery flowers, pushy penguins, and flying lava fortresses? Now let's talk about one of the surprisingly better aspects of the movie: the characters. Some of them are pretty faithful to the original versions, some of them are unexpectedly decent interpretations, and then others are...
What makes you think you're worthy of fighting alongside the greatest army in the world?
Terrible!
Let us start from the best and work our way down. The best character in the whole film is Bowser, hands down. No one will disagree. He is probably the best transition from game to screen. He's got the huge, menacing, spiky, dangerous design that towers over our heroes. He has an immense amount of power on his own, with enough strong breaths of fire to tear down solid ice walls. In the interrogation scene, he looks pretty intimidating. He walks slowly forward, starts off small in a smooth but uneasy tone, but then builds up into pulling out a hair to make Luigi talk. And then when he white lies, he's not holding back. He grabs him tight, grabs his entire mustache this time, and yells in a fit of stern rage, desperately demanding to be told what Luigi knows. And you do not want to cross Bowser when he's angry. He will slam, he will punch, he will roar, he will scratch. He beats Mario to a pulp. He crushes your fingers in a piano cover because
pain is the best teacher.
And when things don't go his way, he will have his lackey electrocute our companions, burn you alive until you are nothing but immortal bones, launch a nuclear bomb on your kingdom as a last resort, and he will throw you in a fiery dungeon and then later sacrificed in front of a wedding audience. Even his own minions, who dared cross him even the tiniest bit. This is the most threatening, badass, and intimidating Bowser has been portrayed in quite a while. Exactly how I saw him when I played New Super Mario Bros. Wii for the first time when I was 13 years old. But at the same time, Bowser perfectly displays the other lovable aspect of his original character: his comedic or loving side. This is showcased perfectly in the gathering scene. We first see him throwing a lively rock party, reminding us how badass he is, but then he goes into detail of the princess he desires to marry.
Doesn't she hate you?
Of course she hates me. But that makes me love her all the more. Her heart-shaped bangs, the way she floats in the breeze, her immovable tiara.
This is fucking hilarious. The voice performance, the facial expressions, the gentle twinkling music contrasting against the dark, fiery background. I laugh at this every time. Bowser doesn't remember the names on some of his minions. He went along with having piranha plants as a bouquet, and then instantly regretting it. He sings a heartfelt love song of his one true love, which is just repeating her name ad nauseum, and yet he sings it with such passion and emotion in his voice. I can't even with this guy. This movie has captured Bowser perfectly when he starts off as a scary, powerful force to be reckoned with, but then turns into a hilarious, love-struck wreck, and then he wants to destroy again moments later. Another character they captured perfectly, in my opinion, is Luigi, starting off as the lovably scared wimp who screams at danger or instantly begins to regret the big ideas Mario has, but then during the course of the film, he starts to grow and develop a little bit. He ends up in a dark, spooky place he has never seen before and runs away after being chased by some ravenous skeletons. It's a bit natural for anyone to be scared of the unknown, and he's got justifiable reasons to be scared here. Everything around him is unusual, intimidating, creepy, and dangerous. He's getting roped by them, tortured by them. They threaten his life out loud right in front of him. They hold him prisoner with no way to escape alive, and then is ultimately about to be lowered into an ocean of lava. And without his brother there at any point, he feels so insecure, helpless, and it seems all the more hopeless to him. Mario means the world to him. Ever since they were babies, Luigi was always picked on by people bigger than him, and his dear brother was always there to stand up and protect him from either verbal or even physical harm. But then, when they are both separated for reasons he can't understand nor explain, all hope is lost for him. But then, when Mario rescued him, realizing he's still alive, that he had been continuously fighting to save him all this time, he is ecstatic seeing his brother again. Quite an emotional reunion. And then, when all hell breaks loose and Bowser attacks Brooklyn and his brother, he finally has a boost in confidence to return the favor and saves his life for once, after protecting him from Bowser's wrath, which is a neat throwback to something Luigi did back in the bathroom scene. They are both even and trust each other to the bitter end, allowing them both to obtain the unstoppable, invincible power of the superstar. I feel for Luigi. You can't help worrying when he is scared or in danger, and you've gotta love his dedication to his brother and how they'll help each other out no matter what. Even in the first act, when Mario is upset over his dad's disapproval, Luigi is the only one of the family who comes in, cheers him up, and reassures him that he's not bringing them both down. I love that. I just wish that he grew a little bit more confident or willing to fight back against Bowser during the course of the film though. He went from being creeped out by his demeanor, then getting trapped in a cage for the majority of the film, and then is suddenly fighting back against his fire breath in the final fight. I know there wasn't anything he physically could have done given the circumstances, but a little bit more confidence boosting would have worked a bit better. But for now, I'm content with what we've got. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Very funny. Princess Toadstool Peach. I can remember people getting so unbelievably pissed at Peach's depiction in this movie just from her reveal trailer alone, months before the movie's release, saying that they ruined her, they made her into Wonder Woman or Rey Skywalker. She's not meant to be a badass girl boss like in every single other female character in cinema these days. She's supposed to be the girlfriend Mario saves or something. I don't know, I've never played any Mario games after the NES one. Well, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I don't mind the drastic changes they've made to Peach. Her personality may be completely different compared to her game counterpart, where she's more nicer, kinder, elegant, apologetic, and giggles a lot, with a few occasions where she joins Mario on his journeys or has a few heroic adventures of her own. But given the situation in this movie, the change is mostly justified. She has grown up with these toads her entire life. They raised her, and when she was the appropriate age, she would raise them in return. And as royalty, the highest authority in the kingdom, it makes sense that she will do everything she can to protect her subjects. When they hear Bowser's forces will be invading, she will travel far to get the army they need to fight back. She is pleased when she finds a toad who will do anything they can to protect her, thinking she must have raised her people well. When a toad is getting tortured, she immediately puts the safety of everyone else first before anything else. Granted, she had no choice but to accept marriage, but still loyalty to her people. And speaking from the toad's perspective, would you want your leader to be a confident, stern but kind-hearted leader who is willing to fight for your kingdom by any means necessary? Or have her be a gentle little soul who is too shocked by Bowser's sudden presence to do anything about it, allowing her to get kidnapped? I know there are a few games that go against this principle, but more games have her being taken away, so yeah. But even though Peach here is much tougher, confident, stern, quick thinking, and can clear an obstacle course flawlessly in high heels and a ball gown, there are elements of Peach's original character that are still there. She throws Mario to the ground in self-defense when she meets him, sure, but then when she sees that he is a human, she's all giddy and excited about it.
He's a human! I mean, you are a human, right? It's just you're so small.
Hey!
She's kind enough to at least give Mario a chance to show his stuff. She's patient enough to let him keep going in order to perfect, or at least improve his efforts. She pats him on the back when he keeps throwing up his Achilles heel. She comforts him when he didn't quite make it through the course. And as I said earlier, she has a caring relationship with Mario that grows over the course of their journey. Hell, the fact that Peach cares deeply about her toads is much like the game version, so that alone is enough to prove that the main core of Peach's character is still there. Although one thing about Peach that's missing from this movie that most fans agree she needed, myself included, is that Peach needed a weakness. or an obstacle for her to overcome. With Mario, his weakness is mushrooms, and his personal goal is proving to the world that he is bigger than he actually is. For Luigi, his weakness is being easily afraid of the dangerous or the unknown, and his goal is to try and build more confidence and stand up to those dangers, fighting back. But with Peach? Nope, she has nothing. No weaknesses, no personal obstacles, nothing that makes her feel defeated. The closest we get is the Toad torture scene, but that happened so quickly and was forced against her will that I'm not sure if it even counts. Why not have the Toads be in the sacrificial cages? The Koopas capture the ones that didn't manage to evacuate in time, and thus a lot of pressure is placed on her during the wedding. But she immediately punches Kamek, already had a plan in mind of hiding an ice flower in the bouquet, and fights like a badass to save the prisoners. Maybe if Peach had a phobia of some kind that she has to face during either the journey to the Kong Kingdom or the wedding battle. Like, maybe she's afraid of mummies? Or large heights? Ghosts? Bombs? I'm just spitballing here because this take on Peach really has no hints of any weaknesses. I just really hope that she gets properly challenged in the next movie, like Mario and Luigi did in this movie. Speaking of whom, Mario has changed a bit too. He's not really the jolly, happy, courageous, energetic woohoo Mario that we know and love. Here, he's more serious-minded, sarcastic, tougher, and points at people more than he greets. This isn't all too bad, honestly. Hell, Mario having this kind of personality isn't entirely anything new. I mean, look at him in Super Smash Bros. I don't think that guy smiles once in any of those games. But like with Peach, elements of Mario's character still remain here. He is willing to give anything a try, he is determined to do anything if it means rescuing someone he holds dear. He does actually smile a couple of times in this movie, he grows more energetic by the climax, but most importantly, his established loyalty towards Luigi. Knowing how insecure and cowardly he is, he will do anything to protect his flesh and blood. No wonder he's also so ecstatic to see him again when he rescued him, hugging him and everything. Kamek was translated pretty well. He is overly loyal to his menacing master, so much so that he finds joy out of role-playing as Peach for his speech recital. He will do anything for his master, and knowing that his magic is extraordinary, he in return respects him. Sometimes. And given that Kamek in the game series raised Bowser to his evil self at a young age because there was no one else, I wouldn't be surprised if this is why Kamek looks up to Bowser in these movies. Either that or he's just the Orbot of the Mario movie universe. Toad is alright. The game versions don't really have much to display on their characters outside of being welcoming and happy all the time, so it's nice to see Captain Toad here. There is so much Captain imagery within this guy that I'm surprised they didn't give him the name of Captain already. It will be a lot better than just plain Toad. Has more of a memorable personality. Boisterous, social, actually pretty smart in cases, isn't afraid to fight back, and is brave enough to fight for the princess. Donkey Kong is not what I really expected. An overconfident, showboating brute with serious anger issues. But what would you really expect from a Seth Rogen performance? And Cranky Kong, his personality is over-exaggerated compared to the Donkey Kong games. He is a cranky old grump who belittles DK sometimes and complains about the state of the world these days, but his loud, cocky, sarcastic attitude here, combined with his voice, is... Let me just get this out of my system. Fred Armisen is the worst voice in this entire fucking movie. A cold take, I'm aware, but it's true. Cranky is written here to be an elderly, bothered old ape who is embarrassed by his son's narcissism, finds pretty much no joy in anything, and jokes around in an irritating way. So if he is meant to be DK's elderly father, then why does his voice make him sound like he's no older than 40 years old?
Since I want this fight to last more than 5 seconds, I put power-ups around the arena. You're welcome, Mario.
And what in the hell were the voice directors even telling this guy? Because hardly a single one of his lines feel natural or have any thought behind them.
Oh, by all means, come in. I guess he got the wrong mushroom. He's gonna arrive at the Mushroom Kingdom by sundown. Ah! No! No! Who's this ray of sunshine? Get your clown claws off of me!
Shut up, shut up, shut up!
Like, was Armisen asked to sound purposefully annoying? Or was it just him? The only other voice I wasn't much of a fan of was the other Kong. Like, when I think of an American-made animated movie take on a big, dumb, but strong ape who could punch your ass into next week, out of any of the celebrities or grade A voice actors in the industry that comes to your head, would your first choice ever be Seth Rogen? The instant he did his infamous laugh, it took me right out of the illusion. Like, does Seth Rogen have a permanent contract or something where he isn't allowed to change his voice whatsoever when doing any animated voice role? Like, no change in his voice delivery at all? Because every single one of his voice roles sound exactly the same to me. And this film is no exception. When I hear DK in this movie, I don't hear a tough, strong, overconfident ape with anger problems. I just hear a guy. Just a guy. Those are the only two voices I didn't agree with in this movie, because, shockingly, the rest of the voice cast was really, really good. We all remember that day, the 23rd of September 2021, and during that Nintendo Direct, Miyamoto announced the movie's cast list to the world. And every Nintendo fan either fainted from shock or laughed their asses off hysterically.
First, of course, is Mario, who will be played by Chris Pratt. He's so cool. Mario will be talking a lot in the movie.
No! What?
Of course, is
Chris
Mario,
Pratt?
What?
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 Jack Black is Bowser!
Mario movie, Donkey Kong will also be making an appearance. He will be played by Seth Rogen. I'm eager for you to see a humorous Donkey Kong by Seth's son.
Oh, you can't anymore. No! I can't breathe. Seth Rogen? What is happening? Is this a prank?
This is a prank, right?
What? Donkey Kong will also be making an appearance.
Is Seth
He will be
Rogen?
played by Seth Rogen.
Bro, what?
I'm eager for you to see a humorous will be playing. I'm looking forward to great comedic moments.
Am I high?
But would you really blame anyone at the time? The very first one Miyamoto announced was Chris Pratt voicing Mario. Chris fucking Pratt. Everyone knows who he is and what he generally sounds like. Did he look like a worthy choice for Super Mario to you? Or were they just drawing celebrity names out of his hat? This made us all genuinely worried about this movie for the next couple of months. But then, when the movie finally released, he wasn't all too bad. It sounds almost nothing like the Mario voice we're all used to, but since the Bros' origin started off in Brooklyn, they have a failing plumbing business over there and were sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom by accident. I wonder if Pratt's voice performances here was meant to be an intentional callback to how actors like Captain Lou Albano voiced Mario in the 90s animated shows.
Plumber's Log, number 2001. We were on our way to help a space colony of mushroom people. I'm good, Hardshell. I'm gonna make linguine out of you.
Yeah. It's called the pizza box. It was discovered by the ancient Romans to keep pizza warm and to keep their chariots from getting all funky.
I mean, the deeper tone, the Brooklyn Italian accent, a cover of the Super Show's theme song in the commercial. That has to be it, right? Speaking of the commercial, to Chris Pratt's credit, he can actually pull off the more commonly known Charles Martinet-esque voice.
Are you tired of paying too much for plumbing? Mamma mia! That's why the Super Mario Brothers are here. Forget the expensive plumbing companies where you're just a face. With the Super Mario Brothers, you're family.
I mean, unlike the Garfield movie, where the casting wasn't given any thought at all and Pratt sounded nothing like Garfield, this commercial proved that Pratt actually does have a bit of range. Oh, and don't worry, the original Mario voice is in the movie too, approving the performance.
What about the accents? Is it too much? Too much? It's perfect! Wahoo!
This was actually the last time Charles Martinet officially did the Mario voice before Nintendo let him go. But at least his big movie send-off ended with another character he played saying,
"These are my boys!"
Very poetic. Besides from that, Pratt was okay. He had some emotional and serious tones in places, and at least he attempted to keep doing an Italian-esque accent most of the time.
Did he say Mary, their princess?
Oh, hi, Robin. Anya Taylor-Joy was another choice fans were worried about, even though my first reaction was, who? I've never heard of her. Looking at the picture, it indicated to me that she couldn't do Peach's high-pitched voice for longer than 5 seconds without destroying her throat. But then, when Peach's reveal trailer blew up online, the casting all made sense. I don't know if they cast someone like Anya because they already had written a more responsible, stern, braver take of Peach from the beginning, or because they wanted Taylor-Joy to voice Peach and wrote her character around that. But either way, even though it's not the same voice Samantha Kelly usually did, it's a pretty decent performance. She can be perfectly strict and serious when the scene calls for it, genuine emotion when someone is hurt or falling to their deaths, excitement, exaggeration, a motherly tone, calming, or reassuring. It's pretty good. Toad's voice was better than I had originally imagined it would be. Even though I'm pretty sure Keegan-Michael Key would have pulled off the higher, scratchy voice just fine. From what I've heard from his other voice roles, he has some pretty good range. I think having the original kind of voice during the entire movie's runtime would have annoyed a few audiences. The voice he gave him is unnaturally high-pitched, but he can sound threatening at points.
I fear nothing.
Badassatron.
Kamek sounded perfect. I had no idea Kevin Michael Richardson can pull off a flawless Igor-esque voice for him, mainly because I wasn't aware for the longest time that he had an amazing range of voices under his belt. I never knew that he played the Joker until after I had seen this movie. I only knew him for voicing Gantu, which made me worried at first. Don't worry, I've got a dagger right here. I'll kill myself for being such an ignorant, uncultured swine later.
How? Look at us. We're adorable.
Oh, hi, LJ. Charlie Day fit Luigi like one of his gloves. His accent was so lovable, his emotions of either enjoyment or cowardice were captured perfectly. And this guy definitely knows how to scream. My god. But once again, Bowser steals the show. If you had asked me back in 2021, Jack Black wouldn't have been my first choice. But then when the first trailer hit,
Open the gates! Or die!
My mind changed immediately. Black's performances were perfect. Given his acting career, he can pull off the comedic moments just fine. But when Bowser is intimidating, my god, he is the definition of the word. From the smooth talking, to the rising angry tone, and then yelling his demands. He couldn't have done it any better. Now let's talk about the soundtrack. Or at least how much of the soundtrack actually ended up in the final film. Yeah, we'll start off with this controversy. The movie's composer, Brian Tyler, had made original music for pretty much the entire movie's runtime, but then Illumination, being the untrustworthy company that they are, replaced some of Tyler's compositions in favor of licensed music and pop songs. You can hear the evidence on the official soundtrack playlists, so luckily it's not all lost media or something. This is absolute scum, heartbreaking if I were Tyler, and Illumination should be ashamed. Now, some of these song choices aren't too bad. Battle Without Honor or Humanity is a decent fighting kind of song. No Sleep Till Brooklyn takes place in Brooklyn. Holding Out for a Hero is about Mario rising up to become a strong, fast hero till the end of the night. And even Mr. Blue Sky is a pretty good song to wake up to and enjoy your new life. But then, what does Thunderstruck have in relation to preparing some cars and bikes? What does friggin' Take On Me have in relation to speeding through a jungly kingdom of apes? Nothing, that's what. Now, I may get some flack for saying this, but I actually don't mind them using No Sleep Till Brooklyn in the first act. My idea is that they keep in some of the public domain songs they had in there, like Wedding March and whatever that says, and keep the pop songs in the real world, where Illumination usually cares about in their films. But then, once you enter the Mushroom World, all of the scenes there, including the bros waking up in their new home, will have Brian Tyler's music. That way, Illumination would have had a bit of their pop song generating money, while the penguin attack scene, the training montage, the cart building scene, and the escort scene will feel a lot better because they have added in Mario Kart and Donkey Kong Country music tracks that actually fit with the visuals. I mean, come on. As much as I love holding out for a hero, that song had been overused even before this movie and the Knuckles series used it. Just give it a rest. But from what compositions they did decide to keep in, I absolutely love it. Everyone in the world is aware that the Mario franchise is home to some of the catchiest music pieces known to man. Super Mario World's Overworld theme, the Superstar theme, Bomb on Battlefield, Double Dash's Circuit theme, World Bowser from 3D World. Hell, I'm playing Sonic right now, and yet all that's playing in my head is this soundtrack features tons of recognizable music track cameos from tons of Mario games. Not even just the 8-bit and 16-bit ones. Even the more modern games are included. The list of songs represented are endless. I almost teared up hearing Gusty Garden Galaxy in the credits. They couldn't have used any other song to end this reference fest of a movie. Speaking of references, another aspect of this movie that made the Mario fan inside of me squee inside once I saw them is all the masses of Easter eggs they snuck in almost every single scene of the movie. There are way too many to list. Spike from Wreck-It Crew. Mario and Luigi worked for him as builders previously. The GameCube jingle. The World 1-1 layout. This castle building. Mayor Pauline. Mario's 8-bit head. Crazy Cap. Clear pipes. Toadsworth. I know that he isn't really Toadsworth and the credits say that he isn't Toadsworth, but this role is screaming to me that he is. Just bring him back into existence, damn it! Ludwig von Koopa, babies Mario, Luigi, and later Peach, Lumas, what I'm assuming is Swanky Kong, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, Chunky Kong, Wrinkly Kong, who's alive in this universe, the Mario World map screen, Mario Kart 8 selection screen, Bowser's wedding hat, and I could just keep going all day. The massive variety of enemies and creatures. Goombas, Koopas, Spinies, Piranha Plants, Hammer Bros, Sledge Bros, Cheep Cheeps, Bloopers, a giant bonsai bill.
Launch the bomber bill and destroy the Mushroom Kingdom!
Oh no, wait, a bomber bill, according to Bowser. Was that a localization name change they had back in the 90s, or... And the power-up selection they utilize is pretty good. The super mushrooms, fire flowers, a mini mushroom, the cat bell, a tanuki leaf, and an ice flower. Hell, the movie gave us a first for the whole franchise and let Donkey Kong use power-ups. Fire Donkey Kong. That just opens up a floodgate of possibilities with these movies, or even any future games. Like, imagine if Bowser was able to fight Mario with power-ups to raise the stakes, literally fighting fire with fire. It wouldn't be the first time he tried doing that. And while I'm talking about the visuals, I might as well talk about the animation itself. I may not be an expert at all on how much budget goes into an animated movie generally, especially since I've heard Illumination tends to make their movies on the cheaper side when compared to other companies. But I think that the Mario movie might just be their best animated film, at least visually, which isn't really up to any stiff competition. The character and creature designs are faithful to the originals and can be easily spotted in the backgrounds or the foregrounds. The new human characters, like Mario's extended family, look quite good, not strafing too far away from how Mario and Luigi are designed. I could easily see them being translated well into the marketing art style you've seen everywhere since 3D World. The character animations are super expressive, have plenty of squash and stretch in action scenes, and have subtle little movements and expressions that tells you what they are saying without any dialogue.
Our mom called and she said, "Oh boys, that's the best commercial I've ever seen." And I said, "Thank you very much, Mother. We're very proud of it." So bold!
Ah, mamma mia.
The sets and worlds in this movie look gigantic. When I think Hollywood movie budget, this shot alone is what I can see. There are so many little details, so many textures, and complex looking background models in almost every shot that I'm surprised that they didn't have a Revenge of the Fallen situation where the rendering nearly made their computers blow up. I'd like to remind you, I am not an animation expert, so I don't know if PCs that animation studios use have gotten stronger since then. Some people would take issue with having cartoony looking characters interacting with super detailed objects or vehicles, or running around in realistic looking environments, like in the No Sleep Till Brooklyn scene. But I think it all looks gorgeous, and at least places like the Mushroom Kingdom and the Kong Kingdom are both brightly colored and vibrant, so the cartoony characters can fit in a little bit better. And the action scenes are really enjoyable, utilizing the power-ups in epic or exciting ways, showcasing how unbelievably powerful the superstar can be. And I personally like how a lot of these scenes are long, sweeping, uninterrupted shots that are over 20 seconds long. Like, the World 1-1 homage scene is around 27 seconds long, this market shot is 31 seconds long, this Bowser-led establishing shot is 25 seconds long, this Rainbow Road shot is 28 seconds long. I could have sworn it was longer. This battle shot is 20 seconds long, and this one in the same scene is 26 seconds. Some people might not consider this as a big deal, especially since none of these shots hold a candle to that one scene from the Tintin movie. But scenes like this really shows you how dedicated these animators and storyboard artists are to have massive uninterrupted action shots like these. And finally, I couldn't think of anywhere else to talk about this bit, so I might as well put it at the end.
Blue shell!
He just suicide bombed himself. Ever since I saw this Koopa General on the poster and realized what colored shell he was wearing, with the wings, I had some disturbing thoughts in my head. And in the movie itself, as one final effort to do his best for Bowser's cause, he used the last resort and pressed his natural self-destruct button, exploding into a blue cloud of revenge. I know this guy is a villain, but what a soldier. So, the Mario Brothers movie. It has a few problems or nitpicks here or there. The runtime could have been longer, the pacing could have slowed down a bit, some characters could have had a bit more chances to build on their growth, Cranky Kong's voice is just downright annoying, and we really could have done without most of the licensed songs. But the animation is super detailed, expressive, and full of Easter eggs. The soundtrack is full of orchestrated, recognizable catchiness. The cores of most of the characters remain intact for the most part. Most of the other voice performances were better than I expected. The story is simple, but to the point, with clear motivations or goals. And even though some critics will say that it may be shallow, simple, or they should have added more to it, I'm quite happy with the movie as it is. More than happy, in fact. As a Mario fan since 2010, I would gladly consider this movie as my comfort movie. I'm aware of the issues, but I love watching it every time that I can easily brush them aside and enjoy myself. Especially since I saw the movie the way I was supposed to see it. Even staying behind to hear people's reaction to the post-credit scene. Speaking of which, since the movie made billions of dollars at the box office, what on earth could these characters possibly do in the inevitable sequel? Or should I say, what away from Earth?
There's a huge universe out there with a lot of galaxies.
From the ashes of his father's defeat rises a new conqueror. The Bowser name shall be feared once more.
Princess Rosalina, you're coming with me.
Let's go.
Well, see you in about 3 years when I'll possibly talk about a truly hype sequel from across the stars. The Super Mario Galaxy movie. Please be related, please be related, please be related, please be related! During that cinema experience I keep on mentioning, in the scene where the bros were fixing the sink, I heard someone in the audience I was in yelling out, "Turn off the water, Mario!" Which is actually a good point. Why didn't they turn the water off? They are plumbers, aren't they? I realize that's just a little nitpick, to the same level of Luigi hanging the phone up too quickly to know the address of the place they are fixing the faucet in. But that's just another great thing you could get in a cinema. You don't have that kind of experience with streaming.